Hi, I'm Nick Thomas with InfoSecSync.
Hi, I'm Matt with InfoSecSync.
And we're here at the 9th Annual National Cyber Summit, and we are speaking with Mr. Jonathan Hard with H2L Solutions, a small business here in Huntsville that provides solutions to national customers as well as local customers. Welcome to InfoSecSync.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
How's it going? So I guess what we can start off with is the enablement of small and mid-sized business within the Huntsville area. So let's go ahead and start with non-cleared cyber work. So what are you seeing out there on the front lines?
Sure, so Huntsville is unique from a perspective that it encourages and supports small business. And from a cybersecurity perspective here in Huntsville, not only, like you said, from a non-DoD cleared perspective, there's a lot of financial cybersecurity that is needed. There's a lot of HIPAA assessments that are needed, PCI assessments that are needed. And so there is enough cybersecurity work here to support a non-federal focused cybersecurity company, and that's what we've found out. So whether it's penetration tests for a local drugstore or a penetration test for a doctor's office,
Security assessments,
security assessments, yeah. So there is enough work here to keep a cybersecurity company afloat.
Awesome. So as far as like PCI DSS compliance and HIPAA compliance, as we've seen these breaches happen, right, to these, Jimmy John's was an example, right? That was kind of far back, but Chipotle is a very recent example. It affected the Minneapolis area there with a few of the franchise stores. So you're seeing that those types of engagements are being able to support a market, a non-cleared market.
It most definitely. The culture is changing, not so much as far as people are now knowing that they're a target, whether they are a grocery store or whether they build missiles for the United States of America. Everyone is a target. If you have information that is valuable, which is PII, personal identifiable information, social security numbers, birthdays, etc., that's information that is valuable. Credit card information is valuable to hackers. And so everyone's vulnerable. And so more and more people, more companies, not just DoD-based companies, are now focused on protecting their information.
So as far as a cleared market is concerned, let's transition, because you mentioned missiles, right?
Right, yeah.
Missiles are big here in Huntsville. You guys got space, right?
Yeah.
Or so I've been told. So with that, have you seen a lot happening with the market as far as cleared work is concerned with any of those agencies that are here in this area?
Yeah, so that has been a focus. I think in 2015, that was the second, one of the few things that was actually increased in the budget was cybersecurity work, right, for the government. More funds went into cybersecurity than funds were taken out of from the budget perspective. And so that changed the market here in Huntsville. Since Huntsville is a big DoD contracting city, a lot of companies here saw the writing on the wall. They needed to do cyber. And so you had systems engineering companies, you had actual manufacturing companies that their forte was not cybersecurity, now investing their own profits, their own overhead into learning how to do cyber in order to go after those contracts that the DoD is now letting, right? And so now there's very few companies in Huntsville that do not do cybersecurity. Whether they are experts at it or not, what we find is that if a company already has a contract, they say they do cyber, they'll reach out to another company that is maybe a subject matter expert in cybersecurity
and pull them in on that engagement. Whether
correct.
It's a 1099 engagement or whatever the case is.
Yeah, exactly.
So how critical, we'll finish out with this, right? How critical is it to make connections here in the local Huntsville area to support a business if you were kind of starting a small business up from the ground up? How critical are those connections?
In my opinion, that's the number one of most importance. So we have, I've been in business for 3 years and 4 months. And that was our number one objectives when we first started. Is we had no connections, no anything really, no work, whether the connections are on the commercial side or the government side. And what we did is we created a social media campaign, Facebook, LinkedIn, and connected and made connections to as many people as possible within the areas that we wanted to obviously do work in. And so we've done over 400 capability briefs now to date in the past 3.5 years to 400 different DoD contractors. right? 15,000 connections on LinkedIn that were not just I'm going to connect all these people because I want to, but they've been valuable connections. COs, CFOs, CTOs.
Quality and quantity.
Exactly,
which is a good mix.
100%. And then create that environment within your company so that all your company employees will engage in social media, and that just doubles and triples your profile on a social media platform basis. In order to everyone knows of us in Huntsville, and a lot of people in DC know about us, and Colorado Springs, those focused areas that we wanted to grow in. We launched social media campaigns.
Awesome.
And how can the viewers learn more about your company?
Yeah, so you can go to our website, www.h2lsolutions.com, or Google my name, Jonathan Hard, and find out everything you need to know. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Jonathan. We appreciate it. And thanks for saying InfoSecSync with InfoSecSync.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.